This is Balboa Park. It is home to many attractions. Some big, some small, some famous, some obscure. However, as iconic as Balboa Park is, it is not what we're going to be talking about in our documentary. Instead, we are going to talk about a more obscure place in Balboa Park. A place that when you think of Balboa Park, it does not come to mind. This is the Old Globe, and this is its history. Balboa Park was first built for the 1915-1916 Panama, California World Exposition. However, the Old Globe didn't exist until 20 years later in 1935 for California's Pacific International Exposition. Modeled after the Old Globe in London built during the time of Shakespeare, it was built for the specific purpose of presenting abridged versions of Shakespeare's original plays to the people at the exposition, and it was actually meant to be demolished and only a temporary building. However, after the exposition in 1937, a non-profit group called the San Diego Community Theater leased the building and the surrounding plaza and decided to renovate the theater for permanent and long-term use. In the same year, on December 2nd, 1937, the theater reopened and the first official play of the theater, John Van Duren's The Daft Side, was played. One of the same actors there, Craig Noel, became the leader of the theater for more than 50 years as a director, actor, and artistic leader for many plays throughout the years. For 41 years, the theater was unchanged and continued operating as normal, with a small renovations to the plaza and surrounding area being done throughout the years. However, this would all change on March 8, 1978. An arsonist destroyed the theater, burning the whole structure to the ground. Very little of the original building would survive this fire. After 4 years of repairs in 1982, the theater would reopen briefly again. However, again in 1985, another arsonist destroyed the theater. This time, the theater was completely remodeled and completely renovated and changed from its original design. The once Shakespearean style of the theater would change to a fully enclosed theater filled with 620 seats for audience members. Since then, it has kept mainly to its design and structure from 1985, and the Well Dave's Festival Theater is now the only open-air theater left in not only Balboa Park, but in San Diego. The significance of the Old Globe is major, as it has been a catalyst for the growth of theater and culture in San Diego, and is a way for local people who are interested in theater to continue with their dream of acting outside of high school. To explain this more, me and my partner interviewed Mr. Blemmer, which had a number of years of experience volunteering and working for the Old Globe. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Travis Blummer. I'm the theater teacher and theater director at St. Augustine High School. And I also teach 2 sections of English.
Do you have any personal experiences or history with the Old Globe?
Oh, yes. Well, I would say my experience starts where, I saw my first professional Shakespeare production at the Old Globe in the indoor theater. And all I remember was that it was a production of Midsummer Night's Dream. And they had the character of Robin Goodfellow, Puck, who's kind of this, sprightly type character. He was actually on rollerblades. And the entire set was like a half pipe ramp that he could skate up. It was very cool, and it just made me want to get involved with theater and just see what acting was all about. Now, I actually, in order to see as much theater as possible at the Old Globe, I actually volunteer usher there. So my family and I, so me, my fiance, and her parents actually go as a family, and we volunteer our time so that we can, help people find seats and take tickets and all the kind of jobs that they need on a particular show. We kind of trade off doing those, and it's we always get to see the show after. So I've gotten to see some very cool new productions for free. So it's I recommend it if you just do like a short training and then you get to see a bunch of shows for free.
Do you think the Old Globe is iconic for Balboa Park? Why?
I would say so. I would say that it is iconic. It's tough because it's surrounded by all these really iconic parts of San Diego. I mean, there's the Prado, the Museum of Us, and the Air and Space Museum. It's all these really important kind of cultural institutions right there. I'd say the Old Globe is definitely right up there, just because they really do some world class productions, not just of like Shakespeare, but also newer works. A lot of times their shows will go and be on Broadway, or they'll start from there and kind of try out in the Old Globe and then journey around before ending up on some larger stages. And also they just are doing some of the best kind of, they do Shakespeare every summer, and they're exposing kind of, new audiences to Shakespeare and to theater in general, which is just really important right now. And hopefully we'll be able to, go see live shows again very, very soon.
Of all the theater productions, which one was your favorite that you had to view?
Okay, so my favorite show that I've ever seen at the Old Globe, I've seen a lot, but actually last year I got to see The Tale of Despereaux, which they made a movie a couple of years ago, and it's a hit kind of kids book. But the way that they were able to do The Tale of Despereaux on stage was just really, I thought, revolutionary, because they had the actors play the characters, but then also they would use these puppets for certain characters. So an actor would go from playing Despereaux, and then they would kind of switch perspectives, and suddenly that actor would like hold up a little mouse puppet, and then you would kind of see like the human looking at Despereaux, and suddenly they're a mouse. They were able to pull off just some incredible visual effects that I had never really seen before. And I went in just kind of thinking, oh, this is going to be a children's play. This is going to be kind of like for kids. But it was really moving. There was all this original music. The audience, or the actors, played their own instruments on stage, and then they had these really cool visual effects that they got with puppets. It just made me think about theater in this kind of brand new way, where there's all these kind of different performance disciplines working together to create a really moving show. It was mind-blowing.
Of all the people you have met at the Old Globe, who was probably the most infamous and probably moved on to like a higher standard of acting?
Let's see. Well, infamous kind of connotes like a sinister type thing, or
well, famous in general.
Famous. Let's see. So I've known a couple of really great actors who have performed at the Old Globe. What was really cool was the Old Globe last year. They adapted the movie Almost Famous into a musical, and so like if you know that movie Almost Famous, it's about this kind of great rock band in the 70s, so it had all this great kind of classic rock in it. The musical had that as well, but what was really cool was that the director, whose name is Cameron Crowe, he's a famous director, directed a ton of stuff, but he was actually there that night to kind of see the play. So I sat like one row in front of him. So it was very cool to like kind of, sneak out of the corner of my eye and see like, okay, how is the director of the movie kind of taking this musical production? Is he liking it and stuff? Because he actually grew up in the San Diego area, and he kind of put a lot of his biographical events into that movie. So it's kind of cool to see him seeing a musical adaptation of that with the actors singing and everything. I thought it was very cool. He was a very nice guy. So additionally, so Cameron Crowe, I saw him when I was much younger. This is probably like 20 years ago. I saw the actor who plays Dwight from The Office in a production of Taming of the Shrew, which is very cool. His name is Rainn Wilson. And he was fantastic. I knew like he just was so funny. He played this very comedic role. This kind of comedian who plays a lot of tricks on people, and he's kind of almost like a Bugs Bunny type character. And he was just he had so much charisma, and it was amazing. And it was very cool to like all of a sudden The Office came out a couple of years later, and he just became world famous. So it was very cool to get to see him at the Old Globe first.
Due to COVID-19, the theater hasn't had any plays for over a year, and will most likely not for the foreseeable future. This is due to the dense seating arrangements within the theater, which makes it nearly impossible to social distance. To end this documentary, the significance of the Old Globe Theater is major to the overall sphere of Balboa Park and how theater and drama has developed in San Diego, as it has entertained hundreds of thousands of people over its 84-year history, and hopefully will continue to do so after COVID-19. This was the Old Globe documentary. Thank you for watching.